Hello,
Bam.
Dreama.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we are. Nice.
here we are. We're
Yeah,
here.
we're here. Yeah. It's been a couple
Oh
weeks,
my,
right?
oh my, yeah, it has. And I just got out of the shower.
Yeah, I did too, but I have like hardly like the very fine hair, so just turn the dryer on, psh, it's done.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's kind of nice.
it dries really fast, so I'm like, okay, cool.
And my eyes look really tired today on camera. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, feeling it a little bit, but going on.
Yeah, yeah. There's been I subscribe to astrology in your pocket just
Yes.
to kind of like. Well, we're going to talk about alternative medicine today. So, but it's kind of interesting. Um, it's been incredibly just on a like a case study situation, like just feeling um, like when she talks about, oh well, there was a change in the resonance, or there was, I mean, because it has more going on than just the astrology, which everything's connected, so whatever.
Oh, it is. It
And
is. Absolutely.
and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I just totally felt that, or um, something in my life happened. So it's really interesting.
I love that because it so resonates. Everything is connected. And what's happening, I've had more people, clients I'd say the last 10 days, more of a eruption of energy of conflict within like communicative conflicts with people, just relationship issues. I mean, it's everywhere. And it's like, whoa, around it,
Right,
around me everywhere. I'm like, wow, there must be some huge energetic shifts going on in the heavens that are just the planetary shiftings. And I know we're coming up to a super moon, this next full moon, which is going to be a big one. I'm sure we're going to be moving through. I probably won't sleep for 3 days. I don't sleep when it's a full moon. I hardly get any sleep anyway. But man, when that's happening, it's like, whoa, this is even more intense. And you just got to step back and let it roll, you know
right.
take your medicine and go with it, because sometimes it feels like medicine. It's not comfortable, but you have
Oh,
to just make it happen. What's that say? Metaphysics of history.
oh,
Where'd that come
I
from?
hit the wrong one.
No, yes, Friday.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, alternative medicine or traditional medicine. Yeah, I was looking online for some good websites about alternative medicine. You look up alternative medicine, oh my gosh, you get lines and lines and lines of stuff. It's
Right.
a
And
it's
everybody's definition of what that is different
is
too,
so
which
different. Yeah,
is crazy.
exactly. Exactly. And then you got people that they connect alternative medicine with pseudoscience, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
What?
That's like, oh well, it's really not been proven that this stuff works, and then I read one that said 30% of Americans use alternative medicine. I think it's
I saw that too.
way higher than that. That was also um, a national media, I won't say which one, so they're going to be very much leaning toward um, hooking everybody up with the pharmacy. You know what I
Right.
mean? Hook them up with traditional, let's just take you to the pharmacy and get you what you need. Instead, when our bodies are geared to heal themselves, if we come into proper alignment. And that's
Right.
all that the alternative medicine helps us bring our bodies into proper alignment. Those people out
Right.
there that are offering services and whatnot.
So we should mention, for legal purposes, that
Yes.
this is by no means any kind of medical advice. It's just a discussion
Oh,
about
yes. Definitely.
about our culture and society, and how we've come to um, even define things as alternative, when really what we might fall under that umbrella as alternative is actually probably more likely traditional medicine.
Mhm.
It's just non because you can use herbs as medicine as well, and are sometimes are more effective and safer. Like, for example, St. John's wort.
Yes.
It's like nature's Prozac. So,
Yes.
and it's not going to hurt you. Though I did OD on it a little bit once.
Yeah.
Did I talk about that?
Yeah.
I
You said,
got the tea, and tea is incredibly effective about for getting it into your system.
oh, yeah.
And so I was enjoying the tea, and I was taking the like. I just didn't put those two things
Didn't connect
together.
tea and pills together.
Yeah, and there was something, even though it's subtle, if there were such vast amounts like being fed to my brain and my um
Oh yeah,
it
for
it
sure.
was interesting, but it was the side effects of that were very short lived. Like, okay, so what would happen is, like, if I held my head up, I had like this weird vertigo. But if
Okay.
I leaned it back on something or just like rested my head on something, I was fine. But it was very upsetting, and it would last like 15 minutes or so, and like I'd get over it and be fine. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll have another glass of tea because I really enjoy it, and have it
Yeah. And then
again.
start again. Yeah. 'Cause
And then I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I was fine. But if you did that with medication, that could be that could be
Oh man, that could be really,
traumatic.
really bad. Well, you've heard of that kind of thing happening sometimes with, I would say with older seniors that are living alone and they over medicate because they forget,
We
oh,
forget. Yep.
I already took my pills today, and they take them again,
Or
and
yeah, they didn't,
it's,
and I take them again. Yeah.
yeah, so you hear of that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely, I'm not a physician, physical doctor, in that sense, and so I'm whatever what would you call not prescribe, I would say encourage people to do is channeled from spirit,
Right.
and it's a channeled message. So it definitely though is very guided, and so have a lot of success with what spirit channels, and uses as sort of like a what do you call it? A intuitive um, body scan.
Hmm.
Yeah, to move through the body and just sort of scan what's going on for the body. But I do got this
And
dandy book here.
you can scan your own body too. You might not have the same connection that,
Yeah, this is
the
a
complete
really
family guide.
this is a big book I picked up. Ooh, let me get it right there. Okay. I picked up, and it is a great book. It's got every kind of alternative medicine in it that you can think of. So I was just going to sort of braze through here. I can show some pictures, and we can bounce around with it a little bit if you like, and you can tell me if you've had any of these experiences with any of these, because I have not
Okay.
had a lot of experiences with different. I mean, like acupuncture. I've never had it.
I have.
See, so you can talk about it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I definitely can.
what did you think about that?
I loved it.
You did? Okay.
And yeah, because they use, um, they free up your kind of like your highways of energy
Right.
by using the needles.
Yes.
And there's when I say needles, they're so tiny,
Yeah, they're real
fine.
tiny, fine needles.
Um, it's just to hit that acupuncture point. And yeah, I mean, and I think that I'm getting sidetracked here a little bit, but I
Okay.
think that
Okay.
because our society, or Western medicine, we say Western medicine,
Yes.
there's a there's a quick response to your body. Your body responds quickly, right?
Yes.
To like pharmaceuticals, or you oftentimes, unless you have blood level medication that you need to take, that might be a little different. But my dog's about to bark.
Yeah.
Ava, Ava, it's okay. They're just people outside. So, um, there she is.
Yep. I can. Yeah. She's so cute.
Yeah. So Western medicine, you have this immediate feedback of like, okay, it's affecting me. Um, whereas, so anyway, went for acupuncture, and it also was very immediate. And I don't think that's true for every situation, but I had an issue with my knee. So you have biceps actually in your arms, but you also have them in your leg, your thigh muscles. You have quads in your
Right.
quads, and so one of them, like I think it's the interior one, it was underdeveloped, just kind of like how I walk or how I worked out or something. I just had
Okay.
my knee placed wrong. So one was underdeveloped. So what would happen is my kneecap would like get stuck, and it would
Ooh.
hurt. It would hurt, and it just wasn't getting better, but it didn't really swell either. It was
Okay.
really interesting. And it would like actually kind of slip off to the right, to the outside, and I went in for that. And she put all of the needles in. Like I think there was a couple behind there was like one behind each ear, and they were, I can't remember, but boy, do I remember the one that went into my knee. Hey, Ava!
Really? Really? The one that
Well,
went
I
in
about
the
almost came out of the chair. Like it was like a lightning bolt. it was such a split second. Like even it's not even anything to complain about. It was just profound.
It's just
It
wow.
was like, whoa, what was that? And
Wow.
yeah, I felt, and I just kind of almost felt my like I felt like the energy was surging out of like through the needle and out of my knee. Like it was,
Really?
and I felt so much better.
Oh wow.
And yeah, because
That's
it was hurting, and then you can just keep re-injuring it. So, or
right.
I still had to develop that interior, and I don't know what the correct term is,
Yeah.
that muscle, which is still kind of flaky, but it's better.
Yeah, well,
So
that's my
there's my
dad.
answer.
My dad used to get acupuncture quite often, and he told me he really liked it, and he said it really helped him a lot. And they basically don't they put the needles on the meridian that through the body with the meridians and the alignment with the meridians in the body,
Yeah,
and
um,
that
yeah.
might be where they
Just
guide
like
them.
I still have ear seeds. I still
Yeah,
have
me
one
too.
fell off. One fell
Yeah,
off.
I lost one, and I still have one. Yeah.
Same idea. I actually was signed up last, so it'd be 2020, August 2020. I was signed up to do the ear acupuncture, and that's usually set aside for those people that work in some sort of capacity in mental health.
Okay.
And so I was able to sign up,
Oh wow, cool.
because my degree and stuff, and so they were gonna, but August of 2020, it just didn't happen. So I
Right.
was bummed out. But yeah, I was
Yeah.
signed up to take that training so that I could do, because you can hit a lot of things with your ear.
It's the ear, yeah. That's what the ear seeds. That's another what we were talking about too. That is people don't know about that. And so I've been talking to clients about it, and they're like, "Wow, I wouldn't mind trying that if it's gonna." I said, "I think it. I don't know. I feel like maybe I haven't been as, uh,
Remembering to touch them.
yeah, to sort of rub
I
it a little bit, and I think,
don't have a lot of space in there either, so to not knock it off, and
yeah, you got to be careful.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they are stuck. I mean, they are in there.
They do hold well. I'll say that. The tape on them and whatever holds really well.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
can't even necessarily. I'll have to look in the mirror. I can't feel. I think I have just one that fell off, and
okay,
I
I'll throw
actually scratched it off.
this at you. This is interesting. What about a colon irrigation? Have you ever had that?
No,
I haven't either. I
not
used
on
to.
purpose.
I used to. I had some friends that would they would do a colon what do they call it, a colonic all the time, like once
Yeah, yeah,
every
and
few months.
it's like a really effective treatment for. I've heard a woman talk about it on Beyond Mystic, Jean Claude. I can't remember what her name, Marianne, I think her name is,
Okay.
and she has, I want to say, lupus, and she does a coffee one.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess
Oh
it's really
man.
effective. I don't,
Oh wow, really? I mean, I've heard so many stories back then. I got really this had to be 20 years ago, and I thought, "Oh, maybe I should try that." And then something said, "No." No. You don't want to do that. I mean,
I mean, I can do that just by taking too much magnesium.
yeah, exactly. You can get a good colon cleanse. Yeah, exactly. But what that they say is it goes up the other way and does
Right?
does something else.
The back flush.
Yeah, a back flush. Yeah, and like no, no, I don't think so. So, okay, that was one I was thinking. Let's see if you ever had tried. Let's see. They got so many in here. How about cupping?
Actually, yeah, I have some. I don't do the heat though. I have the ones that are more like a suction cup.
Okay.
I
Yep.
have them, so if you ever want to do them.
I have some little ones that I got that I use on my face, but it's really not cupping. You suck them on there and you just sort of
Oh, right, right.
pull
Yeah,
your fat around your face or whatever.
like the fascia. Yep, to
Yeah, yeah,
release it.
that stuff.
Hmm.
Cupping has been used in China since the third century. Involves lighting a match or a small rounded cup made of glass, bamboo, metal, or pottery, and then
Hmm.
removing it quickly and applying the cup to the skin. The
Yeah,
flame creates a
I think the ones that have heat and stuff, like I feel like that would probably require some training. But I do have the suction cup
the
ones.
suction cup ones. Okay.
Hmm. And they will leave a bruise still.
Really? Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
I think those ones with the glass ones, wouldn't that leave a bruise after you?
Yeah, they do. They do. In fact. I was at a CrossFit competition. They call that an in-house comp anyway.
Hmm.
And, it was in summer or maybe like first part of August, but it was summer. It's hot. And this woman, she was just, in her bra, her sports bra and her shorts because she was a competitor. And
Okay.
all down her back were bruises.
Really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean it's just very surface level. It's tiny little capillaries, but it's feeding those areas that are pain or injured or whatever with fresh blood supply, which we want. So the bruising
Right.
isn't necessarily a
So
bad thing,
that's the whole point of it, right? Of the
right?
cupping.
It's not necessarily a
It's
bad thing at
pulling
all.
that fresh blood supply. Okay, have you ever heard of moxibustion? I thought about starting
No,
to do moxibustion.
what's
Um,
moxibustion?
here's a picture of moxibustion. If you can see that, it's this right here. It's where
Oh,
you take like you get these things from you order these like sticks and you light them up and you put them like in this little house and you stick them over the person's body. And it's the application of heat to specific points of the body in order to treat disease and restore smooth flow to the chi. Generally, the heat is obtained in burning dried mugwort.
I have
Uh,
mugwort.
I do too. The direct method involves rolling the dried mugwort into a cone and placing them over the skin. The tip of the cones uh, are lit and extinguished when the heat is felt. So you don't sit there and burn somebody. When they start to feel the heat, you extinguish it, and it's supposed to um, move that chi that's stuck. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, Chinese medicine is amazing to me. I
It,
love it. I think it's got so many things to learn um, that can really,
I mean, there's also like Ayurvedic medicine, and
yeah,
I think
that's,
there's another system of Siddha.
yeah,
Sadhguru talks about it.
yes. This book goes into about everything. Arabic medicine, leeching.
Ayurvedic.
Yeah, Arabic, using
Did you
leeches. They
say
did that.
Arabic?
Yeah, that's what it says, Arabic.
Oh,
That's what it says, traditional Arabic medicine, and then it shows like doing leeching,
oh,
leeches
like,
on people to to suck
but
out
that
the.
frees up energy too. I would think it's kind of the same idea.
Here's my favorite
Or
one here. It's shamanic healing.
yeah,
Ah.
they do all kinds of things. But the bloodletting,
Yes.
yeah, ooh,
Okay. I know you've done
throaty.
this. I've never done this. Have you chiropractic?
Oh yes, lots.
I've never went to a chiropractor. No judgment, anybody. I don't go to chiropractor. I don't know why, but the feeling of thinking of somebody, moving my bones around freaks me out. So I'm like,
Not really. You know
I'm
how
not doing
when we
that.
do like a twist and we're
Yes.
like that's helping us align.
Yes.
Um, they're manually manipulating that, and it's not. You don't always get a crack. You're not always just jerked around.
Yeah. It just freaks me out. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no. But I
Uh,
was also after I had a snowmobile accident, and really that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. It had been years of you know sports and injuries and minor things that heal or whatever. But um, I was having I was like a turtle on its back when I'd wake up in the morning. I would just be like my limbs could move, but I really couldn't like activate anything to
oh,
like sit up. It was terrible. So I
right.
finally went to the chiropractor, and yeah, I mean they had to pretty much like rearrange me. But
Wow.
I was in traction. I was in a traction treatment plan, so
Oh, wow.
um, traction twice a week, and then I still have to do neck traction, but I'm not very good at doing it. 20
Right.
minutes a day. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because when
I'm
if
not
your
debating
spine's
that
out of
it helps.
alignment,
People that I've known had it. They say it really helps them to
yeah,
even my kids. Some of them go to chiropractors. Like I could not go on without my chiropractor resetting everything for me once every
yeah.
few months. And it
You
just,
could say like I don't want to be cracked,
yeah.
um, and they would use. They have different techniques, and they don't have to necessarily crack you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And the next one they talk about is massage, which is really powerful and a wonderful treatment that is a natural treatment for people. I like massage. Massage is nice.
well, and I think people are like, we massage things all the time, like, oh, my arm hurts, and then you rub your arm.
And
You're
you might,
massaging
yeah,
your arm. You're
exactly.
sending, your own energy into it for healing. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know that that's a realization, because we've been passive participants in our health by just depending on
The system to
the
fix us.
doctor God.
Right. Exactly. The system's
Sorry.
going to fix me. Yeah.
Hmm.
And a lot of people that if that doesn't, you know, if they're just they're going to stick with the traditional way they move through
Western medicine.
their life, with healing. And it takes um, a lot of people sometimes getting to the end of that where they a physician says, I can't do nothing for you anymore, and then they think, well, I guess I have to go find something different, and the something different, these are the different alternatives out there,
Right.
for healing. But it's very
Well,
interesting to me.
also though, like, you know, we've been passive with our own healing, and
Yeah,
I have to mention though that when it comes to like trauma
yeah,
or and even infections, like um, there are plenty of you know uh, switch the terms. I was going to say traditional, but holistic alternatives to even like infections.
yes,
But
there is.
a lot of us are, we know that we can just go get some antibiotics and hit it with that too. Most of us are just going to do that. But when it comes to like trauma, like you're not gonna, if somebody severs their arm, you're not gonna start doing Reiki on them.
No.
Like it's,
Yeah, no.
they need, yeah.
You need a
I mean that's
surgeon. You better
right.
go find a surgeon. That's
You
right.
need a surgeon.
Your guts are hanging out. You better go get a surgeon. Uh,
Right.
if you need some energy moved, you go find an energy mover and find somebody that can help you. But a lot of time it's defining, what's really going on for yourself.
Right. And
I'm having
understanding that the food you put in your body, the food is medicine.
yes,
And so, and some of us have a little bit more medicine,
yeah,
but
yeah,
have taken a
that,
little bit more medicine. But that's the other thing too, is our nutritional density in this country is of our food products is pretty low, and so our
it's
bodies are
very
constantly asking for more things.
yeah,
You can't just chalk it all up to being bored, so you're eating, which happens too. But
yeah,
a lot of times, like things like salt. I noticed that when I switched from regular table salt to a Himalayan sea salt, or I think it's called Redman's. I have a
okay,
big bag of it, where it's a larger spectrum of minerals in the salt.
okay,
Um, the amount of salt I put on my food like drastically decreased because my body was asking for things that I thought was salt, and
okay,
it probably was, but I needed a broader spectrum. So
yeah,
that's just an example.
yeah. That's true. That's true. The next one I got here is aromatherapy. I like aromatherapy. Aromatherapy
Too.
is very powerful because we are very scent oriented,
Yep.
beings, and the what you smell. I mean, I've used aromatherapy for a lot of things, or yeah, oils, you know,
Yeah.
um, for stomach ache, headache. I do remember one time I had a really bad headache. And my husband's like, "Oh, you got a headache? Okay, come here." And he slapped some spearmint oil right in between my eyeballs and about blinded me. I'm like, "Oh, it was so powerful that I didn't realize that, oil was that powerful." It was like,
Hmm.
because the
And you
radiant
do
energy,
absorb it
the
too if
radiant
it's
from
on
it
you.
went right into my eyes, and I was like, "I'm blind. I can't see now. Thanks. Appreciate that. I forgot about my headache."
Yeah.
Headache's gone, right? Yeah.
There
I
we
forgot
go.
about it. I don't need I'm not thinking about that now. Um, reflexology. I've always been interested in reflexology, that little
I'm not
chart
really
you
sure
go
what it is.
with it's where they have the little chart where they show the feet
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
you push different parts of the foot and it triggers like your kidneys, your liver, your
Okay.
heart.
I guess
And
I thought that was acupressure. Maybe it's one and the same.
it could be very much, but they call it reflexology when it's connected to the feet. Acupressure can go all over the
Is that
place.
the same as your hands too?
I don't know. It just shows feet. I don't know.
Oh, I had a little card on that. I don't know where I put it.
What can reflexology treat? Reflexology is for digestive things, menstrual things, stress, fatigue, aches and pains, inflammation, pregnancy problems, and chronic conditions with children, elderly and children.
Hmm.
So that's a lot of cool things it can treat. Um, I never heard of that before. Have you ever heard of this? It's called polarity therapy.
No.
This is what it looks like. See this guy squatting weird? There it is. There it is.
Oh, look at my face. I'm like,
Like it says polarity therapy. I don't know
huh.
what it is. Polarity therapy was based on it's Ayurvedic principles. Energy, yeah,
Ayurvedic.
yeah, Ayurvedic. Energy steps down from the source in the form of a double helix within the body, where the helix crosses over and spinning energy is known as the chakra. Each chakra is different. Anyway,
Hmm.
so maybe you're supposed to squat like that to
You probably
it's
have to like, flex
it
your
treats.
bandhas
Yeah,
and
that's what
release
I think they're
them.
doing. Yep.
Hmm.
Balance,
Moving
stretching
energy.
exercises. Maintains flow of vital energy. Yeah. Your bundies. Your
Yeah,
bundies.
your Ted Bundy.
Stretch them
And he's
bundas.
abundant,
Abundant. Uh-huh.
which just means you're locked. Like you've got lots of them. Like
Hmm.
your hands are your hasta bandhas right here because you can activate and your feet are your pada bandhas and
I got lots of bundas. Yeah.
your your taint bandha is your mula bandha.
Mula bunda.
It's like at the base of your spine, but
Yes.
the center of it's like there.
Yes. I
Like
gotcha.
it's like right by the peritoneum, or it's like what you would sit on
Yes,
essentially.
exactly.
And then
Okay, we
just
go
above
to
that, your lower stomach, right around your belly button, essentially, it's your uddiyana bandha. I
I
like
think
that one.
those that's
I
a
like to
really
say that
good.
one.
I know that's a good one. Tai Chi. We know what Tai Chi is. I've did Tai Chi before.
Yeah,
Um, it's just it was very slow,
lots of breath work.
slow movement, body
I think
movement.
that's really good for. I think Tai Chi is really good for the warrior types because there's a lot of like dragon breath. I mean, that's how I describe it. A lot of like
Yeah, it says
get,
Tai Chi
getting the heat out.
is good for high or low blood pressure, for circulation, muscle tension,
Hmm.
um, anxiety and depression. It's really good for all those things. That's what it recommends
Yeah,
Tai Chi. So that's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Getting that heat out of your body, especially if you're in the Ayurvedic terms,
Yeah,
a pitta means that you're fiery. Um, you're just more of you have more. So they work with elements, so you just have more fire in you.
yeah,
So getting that heat out and creating that ujjayi breath in the back of your throat and like releasing it. And I mean, I think we talked about that before. Like I was so upset about the mask situation because I'm not able to expel my heat. I,
yeah.
I have a pitta. Like I need it out.
You need it. Yeah, you got to get
Yeah,
expel it. Yeah,
right.
exactly. That's true.
I'm a white person. Sorry.
Next one is yoga. What yoga can do for you is stress relief, relieves high blood pressure, back and neck pain, asthma, digestive disorders, fatigue, arthritis, and anxiety. Those are the things that yoga can help you with. Just the poses and um, probably the
Yeah,
stretching and the poses are very powerful. I know
yeah.
that.
So what yoga means, the actual term means to yoke your body with your and so that I mean basically if you're a human, you're performing some sort of meditative. So like there's the this yoga sutras, right? There
Yes.
I think there's like 196, and I don't think the Kama Sutra is one of them, but I could be wrong. There's 196. They're like just kind of life. I have it behind me, but whatever. Only two of them of the Yoga Sutras mention something. The asanas that we do on the mat. So only
Yeah.
two of them out of 196, and it's just a kind of a vague mention. So really, the biggest part of yoga is that yoking yourself.
Yeah.
So yoga can look many different ways. It could be um, vinyasa yoga, which would be more of an athletic type of yoga where you're doing the sun salutations and you're jumping from, you know, when you're in the process of that, or you're stepping up or whatever. But then there's
Right.
other forms that is like yin yoga is very restorative and relaxing. It's something that you would probably do before bed, and you're not activating your hara line or your sushumna line so much through your back. Um, because that's activating. So that's something that's why it's called a sun salutation because you do it in the morning and
Yeah.
you're not
Waking you
doing
up.
it. Yeah, it's waking you up. And so there's so many different types of
Oh
yoga
yeah. I don't think
that
there's no wrong with any of it. You can't get
mm-hmm.
it wrong. And it's
I
just
mean, there's been times where I've done yoga with you and you were pretty just passive and complacent and I was actually manipulating your body. And that was yoga and your my direction to you was just breathe and meditate because we were fixing your
right, fixing my
rib,
rib. Yeah, that was huge. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was traumatic for me.
Yeah, that was a big one. I haven't had that happen since. Thank
Thank
you.
God.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, because that was painful. But yoga is very good. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do, honestly, for stretching and, moving the body. And I would recommend it to anybody because if you can keep flexible, you lose your flexibility as you get older. You keep that flexibility. Wow, that's going to be a major gain for you as you get old in your later years, for
Yeah,
sure.
and it lubricates your joints. Like just moving it, I think it's called synovial fluid. The fluid
Yeah.
that it gets kind of like gets thicker the less we move.
Okay.
So that also pertains to the flexibility of our joints. And
Yeah. It's like a
mhm.
car. The oil gets all thick and gooey if it,
I
and
was
then
going to use the word viscous, but I don't know which is
it runs, then the oil thins and everything feels better.
right.
Um, yep. So that's really good. The next one they talk about is plant food and mineral therapy. Plant food, which you mentioned a minute ago. What you eat,
Yep.
you are what you eat. I was listening to the Sadhguru the other day, and he's like, you eat food that is alive. You don't want to eat
Yes.
dead food. Dead food. You want to be dead. You eat food that's alive.
Yeah. I'm such a I just did that intuitively like years ago. Like I have such a hard time eating fruit that's out of the refrigerator. Very hard time. I it's just because it goes from cold storage because we're
Yeah.
in northern we're in the north parts of the world and then maybe it kind of has some life in it and then you put it in your refrigerator and you like it just feels dead and I've done that for years. Like if I buy something, like I will go to the grocery store frequently because I'm trying to
You want to
get
get it fresh
yeah, and I don't put like my tomatoes, I don't put anything
in
I
the
don't put
fridge.
anything in the fridge. Mm-mm.
Wow, really?
No.
Wow, I learned something
Lettuce
huge.
I will.
Yeah,
Um,
but not tomatoes. What about fruit? Like
nope,
oranges? No.
nope,
Wow.
nothing.
Yeah. Well, the
Grapes,
fresher, like he said, the fresher, the more, you want to eat things that are alive. Things that are alive give you life.
and I
And
noticed that because I use that Shipt service, and I
mm-hmm.
noticed that I order less fruits and vegetables because I'm not there to pick them. So I'm gonna have to change that
Ah,
up. Yeah.
okay. They got a whole huge section on homeopathy, which is a whole huge thing anyway. I mean, when you go to a health food store and look at their homeopathy, they got little pills for everything. That's they're all made from herbs and wildflowers and tree bark and all different kinds of things.
It's so funny when I go once in a while when I go to the doctor, which is very rare. They'll ask me if I take any supplements, and I'm like, gosh, like how do I give them a list? Because I don't take everything all the time. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And I think some people think that that's what you should do, but I also don't take isolates very often. Like I don't take a vitamin D. I take a herb that's high in vitamin D because our bodies are able to absorb it in its most natural form. So,
Wow. I
but
know
the look of duh on
the
the
face
face
their
because
face,
that's
yeah.
not what their training is.
I
That
know.
hasn't been their background.
I do the
Um,
same thing. My doctor's like, okay, because she'll be like, okay, you need to take this, and can I get you to do this? she said, I'm just asking because I have to, but I know you won't. Because she's like, you need to get this, all these things that you do after you hit a certain age. They're like, you need that and you need this. And I'm like, no, no, sorry. No. And then I'll tell her all the, yeah, what, do you still taking all these things? What is this? I'm like,
But
oh,
you're,
that's,
I don't take them all the time. I mean,
you know,
I feel like I need to have, like, when I came to you for something, I can't remember what it was, and you're like, you can be careful with that silver, colloidal silver. And so then I'm like, oh man, I guess I didn't realize I maybe was taking too much. And so I just stopped taking it, and I
yeah,
don't feel any different. So like, I probably wasn't needing it, and I just
yeah.
got away from myself. So,
Yep. Yep. Wow, that's good though. But that is so there is a huge homeopathy is a very uh um good and opportune thing you can move into as long as you do it with caution. You don't want to take too much of anything. I don't care if it's,
you know,
you know,
yeah,
what it
I've
is.
always kind of like got hung up of the difference between naturopath and homeopathy. Like, what's the difference? I don't know.
I think the homeopathy is the treatment with the herbs. A naturopathic um, is more of a combination of all directions of treatment. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
just, what I'm saying, not just like herbal treatment with a home, the naturopath can also bring in massage. They can bring in all kinds
Okay.
of other ideals that might be like acupressure. They might have skills in Reiki, and so it's all natural healing. It's like a naturopath, but the homeopathy is all herbs and maybe flower herb, flower essences, all
Hmm.
that is healing with a natural herb. That's my understanding. I could be
The
wrong, but that's my
the one
understanding.
thing that I take most consistently is, I don't even take St. John's wort most consistently because it does make you photosensitive. So, um, yeah, I like usually take it through the winter months because, and then stop, because you can get very sunburned. But the one thing that I take most consistently is turmeric.
Yeah, turmeric. Turmeric is awesome. Very
Mhm.
great for swelling, inflammation
All
in the
kinds of stuff.
body,
Like
all
the
kinds
list.
of stuff. Yeah, it's really good. What
And
do you think about magnetic therapy?
I think it's just a moving of energy too.
Yeah, I mean, we do have metals in our body,
Yes.
and you don't want to put any metals in your body, but that
Well, just
that you don't
colloidal
have to have
silver.
in there.
Yeah.
that you don't that you don't have to have in there. Um, that I have had clients where a spirit outright told me, you have heavy metals you need to get rid of.
Probably a
Um,
good time to talk about the ionic foot bath. And
yeah,
that would be more current.
yes, yeah, that's very
Helps
current.
remove.
In fact, that's where I'm going to go do some of those this weekend. I got two or three of them to do, but it just helps pull all those toxins out of the
Yeah.
body. A lot of people just many people will say, there's as many people in this world that'll say, that really helped me, that was fantastic, as on the other side of people saying, I don't believe it.
Well, it's
You know,
subtle. It's subtle energy.
it
It's
is.
subtle therapies or whatever. But my dad takes. I think it whatever makes you bruise really easy that older people usually take or
Oh, okay.
tend to go get put on at some point, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate because I think turmeric could probably do the same thing. Um, so he takes that, so he bruises really easy. And anytime I go up north, I'll ask him, "Do you want me to bring my foot bath, my ionic foot bath? The detoxing that
Yeah.
we're talking about?" And he's always like, "Yes," because literally we can see the bruises thin as he's in it. It's
Wow,
really
that's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
after he had a surgery, he had a melanoma on his ear,
Okay.
and the water like it changed significantly. Like he's like, I know that's from the drugs that I was on for the
From
surgery.
from the
You
surgery.
know?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. Like it was like black foam, and he's like, I'm so glad
Ugh.
I got rid of that. But he usually feels great after
Oh yeah, yeah.
it. Hmm.
That's what I did it for my mom a month ago. I'm gonna go back and do it again because she said, I can't believe it. I don't my bones don't hurt after
Yeah,
that. It
yeah. My
pulled all
dad says
that
that too.
inflammation. I mean, her water that came out was like orange from all the inflammation. It was so I said, well, that's all the inflammation in your body, Mom. You're just,
Yeah.
we get
My
rid
dad
of
will get
that.
hand cramps, and after he's done that for a couple, he won't have them. He won't have the hand
Yep.
cramps. He is on medication. they cause other medication often causes other things too, right? So
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and I think that that cramping, he's super happy about it
Oh
when he's
yeah. So I totally believe it. I did, I believe it really works. I think I would recommend it to anybody to get an ionic foot bath if you can find a place, get one. And
well, we both bought one because we're like,
yeah,
if you actually went to a spa and
yeah.
did it like in 3 or 4 times, you
You
bought
could just
yourself
buy one. Yeah. So I bought it because I thought, well, I can use this for my clients. I can use it for my family. I can use it for myself, and it'll be really great. And it has been a real wonderful thing to get into. I mean, and that
the
is
other
one way also to pull out those heavy metals. That's what I
no,
started using it for.
and if you've gotten the
Yeah. That'd
it
be a
helps.
great thing to
It's one
have.
of the
Yeah.
things that's been recommended actually. I've
Really.
heard
Wow.
that. So the other thing is too is we both have gem mats, the
Oh yeah. Crystal.
far infrared something.
Yes.
We both have one of those, which is great.
Yeah.
Anytime you have aches and pains, like that's another thing that my dad sits on one of those. Like if he gets Charlie horses,
Yeah.
and he can, it's great. He'll
Yeah.
just sit on it.
Those crystal
Hmm.
mats are fantastic, as well as a grounding mat. Those are
Yeah,
really good.
I've got one right here.
You plug it into the ground in the wall, sit on it, sleep on it, and that grounding mat will
I put it
really,
under my computer. Can you see it? Can you see
yep,
it?
I see it. Perfect. It's a great place for it.
Because
Yeah.
I'm on the computer for work all day,
All day, and
and
it helps ground you, and because we don't spend enough time connected to the earth. We're always in our shoes, we're in the house, we're walking on, we're not really down on the earth and pulling into that and doing that exchange of those positive negative ions in the earth that we get when we're connected to the earth. So I think grounding mats are fantastic. I have one
I
too.
have my Himalayan salts like triangulated in my house.
Yep, me too. I believe they really do help. I think they really do help the energy of the house and
Yeah.
move energy through the house, and they help a lot. I think it's just there's like things that you can do. These are easy things that we both have done. Have you ever had like sound or light healing?
Yes, yes,
That's
like a sound bath,
like a
and
yeah.
a lot of times yoga studios will do it, and I don't know. I wasn't unconscious. I wasn't sleeping. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it was some kind of yoga nidra or something I was involved in. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I was out, like I was somewhere. I don't
Oh,
know,
I
but
know.
I mean, I was hearing everything. I felt them come near me with the singing bowl. It's not as though I couldn't have a conversation if they said, "Are you okay?" or something. I was
Right.
fine.
Oh, that was so wonderful. I love sound baths. I mean, in
Mhm.
fact, that's why I started collecting bowls because I planned on like holding some sound baths. I thought they were just so, I mean, I
Love
would
them.
just get bowl stoned, man, after I was gone from there because it was so, the energy it absolutely wipes your field just very clean and you feel so fresh, fully clean, when
And
you leave a sound
I
bath.
stayed for the yoga class after, and I just really wanted another sound bath.
Yeah.
I didn't need to do yoga after that. But another
Yeah.
thing is, people talk about for helping you ground because you know not understanding necessarily what the heck that means because it is subtle. It's not like um, take a grounding pill or something, but it is kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Is in the winter, go to a florist.
Okay.
Walk, even if you don't buy anything, just walk through.
Go to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah.
Or like we have Frederick Meyer Gardens too, and I don't know how
Right.
much they have inside, but
I don't know either. I
I
haven't
think
been
they
there
do
in
have a little
quite a
bit.
while, but
Yeah, me
that is a
neither.
great idea. Also, I did do a few years ago, I went for a light therapy, and they test you and they do light therapy, like you put red lights or blue lights, whatever need your body is calling for
Yeah.
in your certain energy centers. Sometimes it's your lower centers are wanting blue light. And so anyway, it was very interesting, the experience. I think it was definitely a learning experience for
Hmm.
me. I don't know. I've never really like thought of incorporating it in my own practice because it would be really. I need more space to have all these lights, and let people lay under the lights for usually about 15 minutes. They want you to be under that certain color light, uh,
Okay.
but it's supposed to counteract and balance your Balance your whole energy centers out, balance your body out where
Well,
you're
and we know that that works, right? Because when babies are born with jaundice, they put them under,
under
you
a
know,
light.
kind of,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
can't
And
remember
think
how
about
many.
how powerful it is just to sit out in the sun. We like the sunlight that we're sitting under.
Right.
So it's very cool. We've only got halfway through this book. There's so much stuff in here,
I
and we're
know.
almost out of
That's
time.
okay. That's all
But
right.
that's okay. Yeah.
Yes. But I think it's just like when, if people approach something that's chronic in their life, like let's say weight loss,
Yes.
you can fix the kitchen situation and how you're eating the food that you take in. You can fix your physical activity. It's
Yep.
like the the input and the output.
Yes.
But we also forget it's a three-legged stool. It's the emotion as well. And when you're working out and you're caring for yourself, you're moving those things too. But if you don't have that emotional component and you're not changing how and working on those things, because I think sometimes that happens naturally just through the process of the other two, but
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, um, especially if you have a lot of family of origin issues.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say necessarily trauma because we don't really get through life without some.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
especially
Exactly.
in the family of origin. So that paying attention to that root chakra and the emotions that are involved there, and then they're all connected, even though they're different. We identify them as different energy centers, but they are all connected. Um,
Hmm.
especially for women, particularly, but just men too. The sacral and the heart. Um,
Yes.
that's why we see a lot of you know things that are chronic for females, that are female related, like ovarian things and
Issues. Right.
cervix things, and people, or just simply not embracing the fact that you are probably going to bleed every month, and stand in your power in that, and that's amazing. We harbor it and we make weird things out of it that is unnecessary, and
Right.
that can be an issue for you too. you know
Yes. Yeah. It's
um
connecting all the psychological and the emotional. And like you said,
mhm.
remembering that we are three parts here. We're a three-legged stool here. And not just we. And that I guess the whole idea and of this whole talk today was to remind everybody that there is other alternatives to everything. And
Right. It took you, like, for weight loss, it took you how many years to put on all that weight?
yep.
Hopefully it wouldn't take you so long to take it off, but it's a process. It's not what you do today only.
Yeah,
It's what you do
exactly.
every day. Like, what are you doing every day to change that? And like I've had people ask me things like, which obviously I've fallen off the bandwagon. I'm back on it, but it's going to take me a while, but especially with like the all the shutdown stuff. That's was the issue. But I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, how often should I go? How long should I work? How those types of
Right.
things. If you're motivated to do it, just do it because you're creating a new habit. So if you want to
Right.
go every day, go every day.
Right.
Um, create that physical attachment to, or that physiological draw to whatever that is. And there was a point in time where if I didn't go to the gym for a couple days, like was I was tweaked because I had too much like that. I was used to
Right.
outputting,
You needed
you
that
know?
output. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it messed with me mentally. And so after a year of that
Right.
being in my life, I wasn't quite right, and I think I'm still kind of moving through that, and moving it out of my
Yeah. Out of your
experience. So
field. Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. And
Exactly.
at least I guess I feel like at least I could like identify it. Like that's an issue. That is a total issue of being like stuck inside. Like,
Hmm. Well, we
through
all
the
get into those grooves though, where this is our groove, and when something tries to redirect our groove, and we're like, this doesn't feel right. Where's my, I need this
you
because it gives you a euphoric, energy. It does something in the energy, and like we get really
shifts it.
dependent on those feelings and those chemicals in our body go off. So it's like people,
Yeah.
whatever we're
Then and that
chemically
I mean
exchanging.
we haven't even talked about the neurotransmitters like your you're saying, like
Yeah.
that get released.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I mean, we get chemically dependent on things. A lot of times that's why I find myself, I eat for, if I eat, I'm eating, what am I eating for? Am I eating
Have you
because I'm
ever
stressed?
had a headache and gone to McDonald's and gotten a large fry, and after you ate it, you feel better?
That works.
I have, and there's like serotonin and dopamine levels because it's, you know, simple carbs, was released. It was like a sugar shock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Yep.
have for
Wow.
sure.
I have never done that. Usually,
Not
I don't know.
recommended.
Yeah.
Not
I,
recommended. I'm
I
just
like
saying,
doing
doesn't
that
work.
because I like their fries. They're really good.
I know.
And now I'm hungry, but I could go for some fries. My stomach's going, meow, meow. Where are you going to feed me?
I have two hard-boiled eggs that are ready for me after our podcast, or
Oh,
our broadcast. Yeah. So
broadcast.
this is a huge topic. We tend to pick those. We don't run out of things to talk about. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
so we just want to expound on it, yeah. And just give everybody understanding. I think that in this day and age we're living in a very chronic health situation. People are
yes.
searching out more alternative
And
methods
we
because
we
they,
should be our own doctor first. Period.
yes, that's
Like if
right.
somebody says to me,
Amen
like,
to
did the
that.
doctor tell you to do that? Like, I just want to gag. Like, are you
Yeah,
fucking kidding
exactly.
me?
Exactly. That, or they say, I have to go ask my doctor's permission. I had people asking me, well, I went to the doctor and asked them about what they
Yeah.
thought. And I thought, okay, so you to go to the circus and ask a clown? I mean, I'm not that they're a clown, but I mean, do you go
I get it.
to I mean, do you go to the whatever, the grocery store and ask the clerk everything? They're going to tell you what's going to benefit the store. What's going to
Right.
benefit them on the whole. They're not going to tell you, well, that might not benefit you, you know. So
Right.
I was
See,
I was
see also, and you have to go put it through your own intuition and all those things too. And the bottom line is, I mean, I've even had like nurses ask me about self, like what, like what should they take for like something, I don't know, you know, aches and pains, I don't know.
yeah,
And I'm thinking, you're a medical professional. Like, how do you know? They aren't trained that way.
yep, exactly.
And of course, I
Exactly.
just said turmeric, but I think it was somebody at the gym. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, no, they know how to like service people or give them pharmaceuticals. That's what they know.
Pharmaceuticals, right? That's what they're trained. And then, in fact, that was I
Or
forget it.
triage a patient, or take
Who
blood
was it?
pressure,
It was
or
a doctor, I believe my husband was talking to, and he told him, he said, we usually get like so many hours of training in writing prescriptions. We get 8 hours of in total training in nutrition, and yeah, and learning about nutrition and dietary. She said, that's not our field. We don't do that.
well,
That's it, we are trained to solve the problem with medication.
yeah.
And
And if you ever look at like what's recommended, like the My Plate or the food pyramid that's put
yeah,
out by I don't know the government, um, that doesn't work for me.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sorry. I'm not eating that many carbs.
That
I'm not.
that
I'm not eating that much bread and pasta. I'm not doing it.
if I ate like that, oh my God, I'd look like the food pyramid.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't do that. I wouldn't even feel right. I can't. And even though carbs are very comforting, I like carbs. Um, they're like really comforting, but
Yeah.
no. But anyway, yeah, so this has been
That's
a,
another thing. I used to be gluten free
yeah.
until I was tempted.
Till I was tempted. I try and
Yeah.
do gluten free. We had gluten free spaghetti last night. I try and do
Oh
the
yeah,
gluten
that's fine.
free. It's really
Yeah,
good,
that wasn't
but
easy for me. But
it,
it was. I had a burger with a bun, and it was.
oh,
And then I'm like, and now in hindsight, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is an addiction
it
because
is.
it,
Yeah.
it just opened.
It
It like
started
just
it up again. Yeah, fired my buns up.
yeah,
Now I want buns.
exactly.
Yeah, I
And
want
I had
bland.
been eating burgers without buns for years, and like
Yeah.
suddenly I'm like, and it's not that I have an issue with gluten. I have an issue with the gluten that we produce here in the United States.
Yes, exactly. You said it right there. That is
Hmm.
exactly it. Yeah, I don't have an issue with bread. I love bread,
Yeah,
but I do
and if
not like what's in the bread that we have.
and if
You
you
know.
are sensitive to gluten, if you find a bakery that can do that does sourdough, the sourdough, like the traditional like 3 day sourdough process.
Yeah.
That I don't, because after having that out of my system for a long time, I
Mm-hmm.
could tell the difference. Um, and I didn't eat a lot, but like one slice like a day or whatever, like with eggs, I
Right.
was fine. I was fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so then there's not very many of them around. So
Yeah, yeah. I love bread, but I try and stay away from it. But I love bread in any form or shape. It's like potatoes. It's my
you know,
wicked.
and I don't like if it's something like Wonder Bread or like even those Hawaiian buns.
Oh yeah, I don't like Wonder Bread, but
I think they
I
just
like I
taste
like
funny to me.
muffins and I like biscuits and I
Yeah,
like taco shells and I like anything that's, I like yesterday we had garlic bread with the spaghetti, of course, I'm like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't eat this, but I
yeah.
did," you
Well,
know.
like
But
yeah, like I would always just do corn shells
oh
and
yeah.
for like tacos or whatever. I
Yeah.
would eat those. Yeah, because you can get the ones that are gluten free.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah. They're
most of
getting.
them are.
That's the nice thing. They're coming out with alternatives, so you can feed yourself, in any shape or fashion. You can feed yourself more healthy. You can
Yeah,
think more. You can do more healthy, different choices. We're living in such a great time, really, for that to have that such alternatives and choices out there for food. And food is your medicine. It's your number one
it is.
medicine. You are what you eat. That is absolutely 100%. And the next thing, though, you are what you think about yourself. So you can eat all kinds of garbage and think crappy things, garbage in, garbage out. It's the old, same
Right.
old thing. But you really have to change how you think about yourself because when you love yourself, you aren't going to feed garbage, right?
Yeah, and I always think when I hear people say, "Well, I went through McDonald's for the kids,"
Yeah.
and and they're like, "I'm not going to eat that." Well, why would you feed it to your kid? You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly. Exactly. Well, it's fast and it gets rid of them screaming at you, I guess.
yeah,
Um, I guess that's it. I mean, I remember when my kids were little, but McDonald's was different then. It was more centered around the clown. The
yeah, it was.
it was. You go outside and they had like a Miss Mayor McCheese outside in the yard and the kids would play in it and they
Yeah,
had all
yeah.
little,
So it was kind of like a fun
it was
activity.
a fun place to go. Yeah, and the kids
Right,
like once a week or so they'd be like, "Can we go there?" And I was like, "Okay."
right.
And
Yeah,
so
it's and I don't think we're just gonna like stop eating pizza or
isn't
never
it
go.
I was just
I
thinking, it's sort of funny, isn't it funny? McDonald's used to look like that. Now look at it. It looks like an institution for mentally healthy, unhealthy people.
it
When you
does.
drive
It's
there,
kind
it's
of
all
like
dark, it's all gray, and it looks like someplace you wouldn't, this is where we go when we're unstable.
yeah, like that, like how it looks on the outside. It's like all
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And back in the
different.
old days, it looked like a playhouse. You pull in and there's all these toys, and it was all bright yellow and red and fun and clowns, and it was just
Yeah,
so. That was like 20 years ago. That was what it looked like,
and the
and
ball pit, the
yeah, and the little pit the kids
the
played
pee
in.
pee the pee pee ball pit.
Yeah, yeah, it was gross. Yeah, but now it doesn't look like it looks like an institution now. Like well, I need my fix. I'm gonna go through the drive-through.
Right.
I'm not. I'm not banging on anybody because I have did the drive-through myself.
Right.
I need
Yes.
coffee, or I'll have be having a
Yeah.
coffee fit.
And I
And they
do
have
love
great coffee. They
I
do have
do
great.
love the sausage McMuffin, I have to say.
Yeah, they have some
But
good stuff. I mean, good stuff there, but it's
but
not.
when I was gluten free, people would ask, so what do you eat for bread then? And actually, I had been low carb for so long. By the time I went gluten free, like I just didn't.
Didn't eat
I,
bread.
I
Yeah.
just didn't really eat it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a thing. Like I wasn't gonna buy, you know, the bread that I wasn't gonna eat anyway. So it was fine.
Yes. Yes. But anyway, well,
I'm
this has
working
been,
back to it. I'm getting back there. It's like it activated that like
it's a process though. It doesn't happen overnight.
no, no, it doesn't.
And
So
we're sort of just
I'll
now
get there.
coming out of all this darkness over the last year and whatever has been happening for each person. It's been a intense time. So
Right.
it's okay. We just give ourselves permission and stay in our sovereignty and say, you know what? I'm moving through this space and it's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, my dear, we should probably
We probably
call
should
it
let
a
it go. Yep.
day.
And
Um,
This has been good. It's been good.
Yeah,
It feels real I don't know. It feels real good. Feels very informative today. Like
does it?
information. It doesn't feel heavy. It just feels like, oh, lots of information here. So I hope y'all, yes, soak it in and know that you are given this beautiful sovereign body. Take care of it. Seek
Right.
out your own alternatives. You start with yourself first. Figure it
Mhm.
out. Feel into your own body, like you said,
Yeah.
and ask, what's wrong? Why am I feeling this way?
Yeah, we are our own best doctors.
Yes, that's right. Start with
Mhm.
that and then, move out from there. And there are so many alternatives, much more than we even talked about today. We could do
Oh yeah.
a whole nother week on that and just talk about
Hmm.
that. But who knows where
If anybody
spirit's
wants an
going to guide
ionic
us.
foot bath, just let me know.
Yeah, I do
Or
them
dream
too.
us.
Yeah, we can do that for you. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, yep, they are really good. But
Yeah.
anyway, you have a wonderful day, honey, and I
You
will talk
too,
to you later.
honey.
Have a blessed honey, a blessed honey day, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one,
You
and
too.
I
Have
will see
safe
you later.
travels.
Bye,
Okay.
guys. Love you
Bye.
all. Namaste.